look at all the electrical equipment I need to install, majority of which will be shown in this video. So the wiring is done in the driver's side, the starboard side of the boat, with the exception of one switch, which its wires just go up here and then they'll go into the main bundle. So everything else is all tied up, zip tied in place. I've got lead wires going out for the front, for the back, and then I got my ones going to the dash. Got a couple more wires I do have to hook up on these, but just for the main ground line and the main power coming in. But we'll get those hooked up when we get them in the boat. Here I got some of the wires already run through the gunnel right there. I'll be running these as long as I need them, but they needed to at least get to this point. I got the power wire and some of the extra wires for some of the later add-ons. Be running right there. I'll be hooking up the lights in underneath here, like off that wire, and then everything up front will be running that way. As you can see, all the dash wires come out and there's plenty of room in here. Fuse box is back here, out of the way. I have the rear interior deck lights wired in right now. I'm going to do a test on them just to show how bright they are. And that's with these lights on in the garage. That's the whole back half of the boat. And right now I've got the light off. I do of course have the flashlight on my phone, but that's how bright this is going to be in the boat. And again, this is just the back half. Still got ones under dash there. The ones on the front deck. Here we've got a lot more put in. I've got the wires run up to the front so far. I've started on the underneath the under console light there and one of the deck lights. I'm getting ready to work on that one right there and make my way around, and then finish out over here on the power, and the front ones will ground out to the front or to the side ground right here. So I got my trim controller, the relays, mounted up here next to the motor battery tray. That way they come out right above. I did have on the breaker for this, where is it? Right here. They did not have, here on the breaker for the trim unit, they did not have any heat shrink tubing. It basically looked just like this. So make sure you seal all your wires too. This I'm going to be cutting off anyway. so I'm not worried about that. And when I hook this up, it's gonna get snipped and have a different terminal on there. But I definitely wanted to heat shrink these to completely isolate those wires. Here's a look at what I did for my battery connections. I got this cable and this cable running out to the battery terminals. Hook up here. That way there's no tug or anything from anything else. And then these actually go out to the rest of the boat to run power and for the grounding system on this accessory battery. I'm gonna have pretty much the same setup on the other side for the motor battery. That way it's not putting any major tug on the rest of the wire system. It's just these short wires going straight to the battery. And here's a look in the middle. This is the transducer wires coming up right here. Then you got the grounding bus. It'll have a cover on it. All the wires running under here. There's the drivers. I know, ice cube shape. But the drivers for the transom lights off the back. And then everything over here. I am going to end up relocating the fuel filter to a different spot. That way it's out of the way of the wires. And then all the engine cables and everything's going to be going through that port right there. We also have everything wired up back here. Zip tied into place, won't be moving on me. But that's the deck lights and then those power outlets. I'll be able to get that cover back on and go ahead and run this cord down through that hole as well. Here's a look at the amount of light my deck lights are putting off. I still got sunlight coming in the window, but I got the lights turned off, garage door closed down. I'll get a better view. After it gets dark, but she is coming together. Then we got a little test on the transom lights as well. And that's just off the back. And here's the new Humminbird Helix 7 that I got. Hook up to that through-hole transducer. And I got some power running to it right now on the fuse, just so I can test her out. Everything looks like she's coming up good. This is gonna do it for this video. I got wires tucked away all over for when I do the video for the dash panels, and we'll get all the additional parts finished out, get this stuff sucker washed, and get it back out on the water. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. If you aren't a subscriber, hit that subscribe button as well. You can get future notifications on my videos. So until next time, I'll see you.